Hello, welcome to the Maxwell House Ranch. I'm just doing a quick update on the Danner Quarry Boot 8-inch non-metallic toe waterproof boot. Like I said in the first video about them, they are my second pair. My first pair failed after less than a week of use, and they gave me a new pair. I'm wearing these for the second day today. These are going through yard work today. So we've been doing yard work, mowing, weed whacking, gathering wood. So I can tell you that so far it's kind of uncomfortable in a few spots. Of course, it's a new boot and that's going to happen. Everybody's foot's different. Everybody walks differently with each foot. So my feet, when I walk, I tend on my right foot to walk at an angle and my left foot goes straight. So that'll make different creases in your foot, different uncomfortable hot spots in your foot, meaning where the leather's going to rub you differently until that boot breaks into how you walk. So on my left foot, this area here, right here, is digging in right where my ankle bone is on the inside of my boot. It is extremely uncomfortable. Not a pleasant thing, but I will just tough it out because I know that within a couple days that's going to go away. I'll rub some boot oil or something on that spot tonight and that'll help soften it up. On the right foot, the only uncomfortable spot I'm feeling right now is where, is where this lace underneath, where it goes underneath this eyelet, is kind of digging in here. And again, it's probably just how I walk. You may have different hot spots on your boot. As you break them in, you will notice different spots and different areas that hurt throughout the break-in process. A couple things to note about this boot is it is a clunky boot, meaning it's not a very form-fitting boot. Most boots aren't when you first get them. You have to break them in. This boot is extremely bulky, and I feel like even after they break in, I have a D width foot, a normal foot, and I think Danner is their D width feels more like an E width, and I think their thinking behind it is the lace to toe system. And a lot of time people, I watch videos and hear people talk about Danners that almost always are wearing two socks, and I don't know what the deal is with that. Maybe it's because they're made for outdoors a lot, and a lot of colder weather situations where people wear them. And when I did have my first pair, it was during the snow, and I did wear two socks, two wool socks, thick socks, and they didn't have the same hot spots as these boots do. So that's something to note, that they don't make like a C width in Danner that I know of. So if you're a D, be prepared that this may be a little loose in the width, but I know over time I'll be able to crank these down as that leather loosens up, and that'll help that. But if you notice, I only have one finger width in between where the laces go here, so I'm not going to get too much more out of this for tightening. So by the time this leather breaks in, these are going to be pinching together to make this boot comfortable. I like a nice snug boot. Aside from that, we'll see how it goes. It's not a hot day, but it's warm out, and one thing I could say is that Gore-Tex liner inside is letting my foot breathe, because they're not really sweaty like I thought they would be on a warmer day. The tread pattern holding up pretty good for what I'm doing outside right now. I think that all around, once this boot breaks in and once I'm able to crank down and tighten them up a little more, I think this is going to end up being a nice pair of boots for me for working outside. You know, not so much with, I don't think it'd be great for carpentry work where you're standing on concrete or hard surfaces too much. That it just doesn't feel like it's that kind of boot. And I got a wasp chasing me right now. He's a little irritated with me, I guess, standing in his way. So yeah, that's what I think. The second day, I think they're gonna be all right. They're okay. So here's the other thing I guess I don't like about it is this toe cap area is reinforced, about 2 inches. So when I was driving yesterday, my toe comes to about here, which is great because you want about a thumb's width between your toe and the end of the boot. Otherwise your boot's going to be, your foot's going to be uncomfortable touching the tip of this. But they reinforced it only to about here. When I'm driving and have to lift my foot up to go onto the brake, my toe comes right to the edge where that reinforced part and non-reinforced part is, and my toenail, I keep my toenails nice so they're not like claws, but it's grabbing right there every time I go to push down. And if you don't clip your toenails, and I feel like it might hurt after a while if you're driving for any extended period of time. I wish Danner would have brought that back a little bit for somebody's foot, because when you have to put your foot up, your toe naturally wants to go up, and it's right there, right on the cusp. If you had a foot that was maybe a 1/4 inch longer than mine, you're probably good to go. But for a guy who has the exact same size feet as me, Danner, make that reinforced toe box just a little bit longer, please, for the next batches. Anyway, I'm out. I'll get back to you guys in a while and see how these things are breaking in and holding up. Thanks for watching from Maxwell House Ranch. We're out.